The most important local AI demo is not a chatbot anymore. A chatbot is just text in and text out. Useful, yes, but limited. The real shift is when local AI starts using the same senses your phone and laptop already have. It can look at an image, it can listen to audio, it can understand what you're asking. And with a local speech system attached, it can answer out loud. That is why models like Gemma 3N are so interesting. They are built for on-device AI, and they support text, images, audio, and video as inputs. That means the local AI story is no longer just, I can run a private chatbot. It is, I can run an assistant that sees my screen, hears my voice, and talks back without every interaction needing a cloud server. But there is one important caveat. When people say the AI can talk, the model itself is usually not generating human speech. The model understands and writes text, then a text-to-speech system turns that answer into audio. That distinction matters because it is the difference between a miracle claim and a real stack you can actually build. So in this video, we are going to unpack how local AI gets eyes, ears, and a voice, why Gemma 3N matters, what still feels rough, and why this is probably the shape of personal AI on your own devices. Hey, don't forget to like and subscribe for more like this. Now, back to the video. The first version of local AI most people tried was simple. Download a model, open a chat window, ask it questions, maybe connect it to your editor. That was already useful. No subscription, no API bill, no rate limit, no need to send every prompt to a cloud model. But it was still narrow. The model could not see the thing you were looking at. It could not hear the question you were asking out loud. It could not watch a short clip. It could not inspect the world around you. It lived inside text, and text is not how most real work arrives. Real work arrives as screenshots, photos, voice notes, recorded meetings, forms, receipts, product images, charts, videos, error dialogues. If local AI cannot handle those, then cloud AI keeps the advantage because the cloud assistant becomes the one that can understand the messy input. Gemma 3N is part of the push to close that gap. It is designed for on-device use, and it can take multimodal inputs rather than only text. That does not make it perfect. It does make it a signpost. Local AI is becoming multimodal. Seeing means the model can take images or frames and reason about them. That opens up a lot. You can ask, what is in a photo? You can ask it to read visible text. You can ask about a chart. You can ask what a screenshot shows. You can ask why a UI looks broken. You can ask it to describe a diagram. For developers, the screenshot use case is underrated. Think about how many bugs are visual. The button is in the wrong place. The text wraps badly. The menu clips. The page looks fine on desktop and terrible on mobile. The chart is unreadable. The loading state covers the content. Those are hard to explain in a normal prompt, but they are easy to show. A local vision capable model gives your agent a way to inspect the output of the thing it is building. That is not just convenience, that is feedback. And AI agents get much better when they have feedback. The more feedback you can keep local, the more private and repeatable the workflow becomes. Hearing means the model can understand audio input. That is different from old voice assistants where speech recognition was just a separate front door. In a full local stack, audio can become part of the intelligence layer. The assistant can take a spoken question. It can process a voice note. It can summarize a recording. It can identify what was said in a clip. It can turn a spoken thought into an instruction. For developers, this is more useful than it sounds. Sometimes you do not want to type. Sometimes you're pacing around thinking through a bug. Sometimes you want to dictate a rough plan. Sometimes you want to ask a local agent to run a task while your hands are busy. And sometimes the input itself is audio, a support call, a meeting, a demo recording, a bug report from a user. If the audio never needs to leave your machine, that changes the comfort level. It also changes where AI can run. Phones, cars, Raspberry Pi style devices, kiosks, offline tools, small private assistants. This is why on device, audio matters, not because everyone wants another smart speaker. Because voice is one of the easiest ways to interact with a system that is always nearby. Talking is the part people often misunderstand. Gemma 3N is not usually the thing making the sound wave, it generates text. Then another local system reads that text out loud. That could be the operating system voice. It could be a local text-to-speech model. It could be something like Piper, Kokoro, or another speech engine. So the full loop looks like this. Your microphone captures audio. A local model or speech system understands it. The AI writes a response. A local voice system speaks it. That is still local AI. It is just not one single model doing every job. And honestly, that is probably the better design. One model sees, one model listens, one model reasons, one system speaks. The user experiences it as one assistant. Underneath it is a pipeline that matters because personal AI is going to be built from systems, not just single model names. The question will not be which model did you use. The question will be, does the whole assistant feel fast, private, and useful? Cloud multimodal AI is powerful. No serious person should pretend otherwise. The best cloud systems are still ahead in many tasks. They are easier to use. They are often more accurate. They can run huge models you cannot fit locally. But local multimodal AI has a different advantage. It sits where the data already is. Your phone has the camera, your laptop has the microphone, your desktop has the screen, your documents are on your disk, your code is in your repo, your private conversations are in your room. When the assistant can process that locally, the default data path changes. You're not constantly uploading the raw world to a server. That is the strongest argument for local AI. Not that it is always smarter, that it is closer. Closer to the sensors, closer to the files, closer to the user, closer to the private context. And for a personal assistant, closeness matters. An assistant that sees and hears you is not just another app, it is a privacy decision. Now, for the reality check, this still has rough edges. Small local multimodal models can be wrong. They can misread images, they can miss audio details, they can struggle with accents, noise, tiny text, bad lighting, and complicated scenes. They can be slower than the cloud. They can need careful setup. They can require the right runtime, the right quantization, and enough memory. And the speech part may feel uneven if the text to speech engine is weak. That is why you should think of this as useful, not magical. It is great for private drafts, great for accessibility experiments, great for local assistance, great for quick audio and image understanding, great for agent feedback loops, not great as a single source of truth for high stakes decisions. This is a tool you supervise, not a replacement for judgment. The big shift is simple. Local AI is becoming sensory. It is moving beyond text. It can see images. It can understand audio. It can work with video. And with local speech output, it can talk back. That makes local AI feel less like a prompt box and more like an assistant that lives on the device. For developers, that means new workflows. A local agent that can inspect screenshots, an offline assistant that can understand voice notes, a privacy-first tool that can process documents, images, and audio without sending them away, a phone app that can help in the real world when there's no connection. That is why Gemma 3N matters, not because it is perfect, because it points at the future. The future of local AI is not just a smaller ChatGPT clone, it is a device-native assistant that can use the sensors already around you. And once AI can see, hear, and speak from your own hardware, the cloud stops being the only place personal AI can live.